Tune in and discover these flavors. Simply relax, close your eyes, and enjoy the sounds. Get it into your system. Diamond 88.7 FM. Radio like no other.
This is our promise. We made up our minds to do something new, something different, do more, do the impossible, do better, do big, do good, do it again and again and again. Do what no one else has done with radio. This is our promise at Diamond FM. Diamond 88.7 FM, shining supreme.
Hour after hour of quality programming all around the clock with us. Every second and minute counts when it comes to bringing you the best of programming on radio. Diamond 88.7 FM remains your best bet. Be it sport, talk radio, entertainment and music. One thing is certain, we've got you.
Get ready for the ultimate rendezvous of the sharpest minds.
The shape of the Nigerian state just now has all the capacities and possibilities of breathing in a disastrous and pestilential aqua.
I'm proud of Nigeria despite the challenges. I had an American green card. I gave it up. I'm not excited about it. If I was crazy about it, I would keep my green card and eventually qualify for citizenship.
More than ever before in the history of our nation, this is the worst instability we are facing. In fact, this is worse than the Civil War. Today, there are a lot of misgiving, a lot of misinterpretations of what is happening. We cannot pretend that we are capable of confronting the situation in our hands.
And it is Hangout, where journalists gather to dissect the pulse of our world. We are not just reporters. We are the guardians of truth and justice. With our pens and mouth sharp enough to pierce through society ills for humanity and a better country. Don't miss out, because when journalists speak, the world listens. Tune in to your Shining Supreme radio station and be part of the conversation. Every Wednesday from 11 o'clock to 12 noon. Editors Hangout, the meeting point of journalist by journalist for humanity, society, and the country.
Good morning and you're welcome to your Shiny Supreme radio station, Diamond 88.7 FM. And it's time for the show Editors Hangout, where news journalists converge, we dissect and we discuss issues that raise eyebrows and steer national conversation. On the show this morning, we discuss the issue of godfatherism in Nigerian politics, with emphasis on the situation of what is happening in Rivers and Kano State ahead of the 2027 general election. Additionally, also, we talk about the ongoing issue between the EFCC and also the former Attorney General of the Federation, a lawyer by profession, Mr. Abubakar Malami. And if you're just joining us again, the show is Editors Hangout. And my name is Adeyemi Adewale. I'm joined on the show by three vast journalists, and together we'll be dissecting these issues, looking at the critical situation of the Nigerian political scheme, and also what is happening in terms of government agencies and institutions with former government parasita. A lot has also been veiling in our dear nation, Nigeria, since the last time we were here for the last 7-8 days in the new year 2026. Let's start by also introducing my guest. To my far right is the General Manager of Diamond FM, Mr. Michael Abiodun Lariwaju Mahu. Good morning to you, Mahu. I hope you're doing great.
Good morning to our listeners all over the world.
Good morning, Mr. Abiodun Akiwumi. It's nice to have you join me on the show.
Good morning, and it's nice to be here again.
Good morning, Alhaji Abayomi.
Good morning, the Hangout man. Nigerians, good morning.
Good morning to you also, you two, for joining me on the show this morning. If you're listening to us, you can stay engaged with your Shiny Supreme radio station, irrespective of your location, by logging on to our online platform via www.diamondfm.net or any of our social media handle at Diamond887FM, be it Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Let's get into the details of our conversation. A lot has been happening in Rivers State. Governor Similayo Fubara was elected in 2023, just like other governors, also with our own governor of Kwara State, Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, for his second tenure. But for Governor Fubara, it's his own first tenure. What Governor Fubara does not know is the fact that while other governors are running the state affairs of their state peacefully and just instilling their blueprints in what is happening in the state, for Governor Fubara, his own tenure as the governor of Rivers State has been plagued with a lot of controversy. It started with what is happening between him and his predecessor, former governor Nyesom Wike, now the minister of the FCT. Now we went into the period of the 6-month suspension given to him due to what the presidency called that a breach of insecurity was about to happen, and in order to curb that and bring political stability back in the state. That has ended after 6 months. Governor Fubara is back, reinstated alongside his deputy. But guess what? The drama has not ended. For the past 2 weeks, he and Governor his predecessor, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, have been going at loggerheads. That's because Governor Fubara has decamped to the APC. Former Governor Nyesom Wike is still in PDP. Governor Fubara, to his word, said he's OHO1. A bit of back and forth in that regard. That also included, which we discussed last week, the National Secretary of the APC also confirming that as a governor, he is the OO1 of the state. But there's a lot happening because someone who is also aligning with Governor Wike, talking about former governor of Ekiti State, Adeyemi Fayoshi, has also been talking a lot this week, Mao. And one of the things that Mr. Adeyemi Fayoshi, former governor of Ekiti State, is talking about is the fact that you cannot remove the hand of Governor Wike in Rivers politics. So it begs the question, a lot of questions of what we are asking about Governor Fubara. This happened before we had the state of emergency, which took him away from power in 6 months, Maro. Now we are back after the state of emergency. Literally, most people will think there will be peace in Rivers State. And Governor Fubara, and anyhow is going to happen alongside FCC and Nyesom Wike, we find a way to ensure that governors continue in Rivers. But no, that's not what we got. We are having talked about impeachment. We know 2 lawmakers have come out to beg their orders in the House of Assembly that impeachment should not go ahead. The lawmakers in Rivers are still adamant that the impeachment will go ahead against Fubara. So a lot of people are also asking questions. Yes, we've thrown a lot of hands into FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, that he seems to be doing a lot in terms of his godfatherism. But do you also think it's a part of even Governor Fubara chasing power and just using power so much? Is that what is happening? Is it godfatherism or the prodigal son, in this case, Governor Fubara, chasing a lot of power and wanting to instill his power in Rivers State?
Thank you so much. One fact must be established, that the struggle for power is something that is so thick in the sky. And be that as it has been said, you find out that Wike believes so much in holding on to power in Rivers. And in doing so, he doesn't mind all the constitutional limits that he has. For instance, you can see Wike, instead of focusing on his duties at the Federal Capital Territory, you can see him going about campaigning in Rivers, even when election is still far away, undermining all the institutional framework established for that. But that notwithstanding, we find out that Governor Fubara has been able to maintain some level of silence. By back and forth, one thing is common. When the agreement was reached, the godfather was a godfather in his true color. Both of them were in the PDP. Now that Governor Fubara has now moved over to APC, the godfatherism, godson relationship should be redefined. And I think that is part of what is actually brain in the crisis. Because you find out that Governor Fubara still see Wike as his godfather. Why the two of them were in the PDP.
Mr. Akin, do you...
Up to now, Wike is still in the PDP. Governor Fubara has moved over to APC. So there's a tilt in the balance of power. And since the constitutional, the party arrangements in the APC, even in the PDP, makes the governor the leader of the party in the state, because they are the major financier of each of those political parties. And that is why the field in power is unfolding as how it is now happening.
I want to bring you in on this. Mao mentioned something earlier, that Governor Fubara sees former Governor Wike as his godfather. Looking at what has transpired between both of them, is that the way it is? Do you think Governor Fubara sees Governor Wike as his godfather? That's number one. And number two, is godfatherism a bad thing in politics, not just in Nigeria?
Well, I think even generally, even in career, in business, you have people that you look forward to. And you cannot practice democracy when we are practicing in Nigeria without having someone that you look up to that will be the leader of the party. So, but in what is the reason of it, I don't think Fubara is seeing Wike as his godfather. But as far as I'm concerned, the problem of Fubara is beyond the issue of party and Wike. Now, Wike may have his own issue, but Fubara is not a saint. He has his own issue. Now,
you think he's intoxicated with power?
I think the issue with assembly is because one of the reasons when Tinubu was reading the reason for that emergency is because of the way he annihilated the House of Assembly. After his resumption, he has not changed. Now, he presented a 2024 budget before a 3-man House of Assembly. He has not represented the budget.
The 2024 budget?
Yes. Even the 2025 budget now, all other states have presented 2026 budget. Rivers has not done their own. Now, he has not finished the rebuilding of the assembly that he demolished.
But he just came back.
Allegedly demolished.
Yeah, they demolished it.
But he just came back.
No, it was demolished. But the reason he gave was because of the bomb blast there that he had. He
said it wasn't in good condition and they had to rebuild it.
It was demolished. But maybe maybe it's genuine or not genuine. That's not the question. But that place has not been built. It has not been rebuilt today. Then treating the House of Assembly as if they are not existing. That is his own fault I have about him. If he has done that and there is being which hunt again, if you look at the allegation against him, most of it are genuine and it's against the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
What are those allegations?
Now, not representing the 2025 budgets, 4 budgets.
No, it's been done by IBAC.
Oh, IBAC is not a constitution. IBAC is not
I think IBAC handled the 2025 when he came in. I don't think IBAC had anything to do with the 2024 budget that Fubara.
As Assembly was removed because of the state of emergency.
But the National Assembly received
that assembly was just for 6 months. Now he presented one before he was removed to 3 hours for assembly, and since
at the state government house.
So the one that is passed by another assembly cannot be met by Fubara. He has to present another one. Also, he has not presented it. So then the 2026 budget now has not been presented. It's 2026, and it's not presented. It's submitted for 2025.
Let's quickly hear from let's quickly hear from former governor of Ekiti State Adeyemi Fayoshi, as we also welcome Mr. Adeyemi Adeniji, who just walking into the studio. When he's actually going into a bit about this godfatherism thing. Alhaji, after we hear from you, I'm going to be coming to you. So he dive into also looking at Lagos State, because I know Mao also talk about what we have in politics is the fact that the governor is always the leader of the state. And he made mention of Lagos State. That have you ever seen governors who will come out to say that I am the leader of the state? But let's hear from the man himself, Mr. Adeyemi Fayoshi. He also made mention of something very critical, that Governor Fubara should learn from his own first term in when he was governor of Rivers State. Let's hear from
those people leading on Governor Fubara. If Governor Fubara goes down today, they will run away. People that were saying I should fight back those days, they were not there when I was isolated and when I was alone. That's all I will say to you. The president himself, that I know, hates ingratitude. The president that I know controls Lagos from the palms of his hands. For instance, the speaker was removed, impeached. Another setting, somebody else took over in Lagos State. The president, without saying a word, caused the system to restore that speaker because it's an affront to the president who is the leader here. You tell me someone who is the leader of Lagos. Let him announce it. Let us hear him. Let Governor Sanwo-Olu come out and say, I'm the leader in Lagos. You see, there are certain things that are said to cause aesthetics. Don't let it get into your head. And let me close by saying this. The emergency rule was all winning for Governor Fubara. By now, Governor Fubara will have been issued. Because the moment you are impeached, you are out of the way. You can't contest. If you read the contest of President Tinubu, he took the Governor Fubara to the cleaners. Excuse me, sir. It is time for Governor Fubara to learn the way I learned my lesson after my first tenure.
Do you think Governor Fubara is not learning his lesson using his words?
Yeah, well, Chief Ayodele Peter Fayose is entitled to his opinion, and he may have been speaking from the understanding of his experience and the information available to him. But for me, Chief Ayodele Peter, I am of the opinion that what Governor Siminalayi Fubara is doing is not wrong, only that it's not being tactical, just like Mr. Akiwumi said. Because take it or leave it, you can only function, a government can only function when the institutions are allowed to carry out their responsibilities and duties and functions without hindrance from any quarters. But in this case, we have a House of Assembly that is the membership out of
I think 21.
So majority
24, 28.
Majority are loyalists. By the some Wike's loyalists, and what I expected the governor to have done is to also, because some majority of them have defected to APC now, and by the time some Wike is still in PDP, so it is not. It shouldn't be difficult for him to have that influence in the party and ensure that the party directs the lawmakers to halt action in respect of the impeachment proceedings. That's number one. Number two, godfatherism in Rivers State did not start from Wike. The real godfather and grand godfather is Dr. Peter Odili. And all of them are either direct. When I say children, in quote, it's not biological. I mean political
children.
They are either direct children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren. Because if you look at it, Mr. Amechi was his PA before becoming a member of House of Assembly, and Wike was local government chairman, later chief of staff. So almost everybody in Rivers State are either children or grandchildren of Dr. Peter Odili. So godfatherism is not strange, it's not alien. Even in Nigeria, it started before independence. Everybody knew that Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was the prime minister. But that was at official level, because the man who was really in charge was Sardauna Alhaji Ahmadu Bello. And in Western region, defunct Western region, Chief Obafemi Awolowo was the leader of the party, while Samuel Ladoke Akitola was the premier. And the real godfather, the real person in charge was late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. So it's not something that is new. But the point is this: the governor, his name, the meaning of his name is actually living up to his name, because Simina Lalayi means a poor man. A poor man can give birth to a king or a rich man. It's just a message of hope. Now we hope that he will continue to live up to that name, because he was an accountant general. EFCC was looking for him. He was kept in the government house so that nobody will have access to him. And right there, without campaigning, he became the governor. Now he became the governor. He had problem with his godfather. The godfather, weakened him totally, and because he was speaking from the weak side, he had to agree to all their conditions, and he's back. He would have been impeached, but there was a state of emergency, and now he's back as governor, and he was smart enough to join APC. He left PDP for APC. And the godfather that is fighting him is still in APC.
Was that leaving for APC? Was it a smart decision or part of the agreement from with Mr. President? Because when this thing happened, we were made to believe that was part of the pattern agreement with Mr. President ahead of the 2027 general election.
No, I disagree with you, because the issue is this. In an interview with Channels Television, Barrister Jason Wike was asked if we'll be supporting Fubara for second term, and he said he dodged the question. That's number one. Number two, if Governor Fubara still recognizes Wike as his political godfather, the person who will say defect will be Wike, not that he will on his own take a decision to defect to another political party. He joined that, and if you recall, during a program, Vice Wike said those people who are supporting him, who are asking him, he even mentioned some APC bigwigs that they were the one asking him to join party. So it wasn't part of. But what somebody said, a very prominent journalist said, that's Babajide Otitoju, was that part of the agreements was that Fubara will not seek re-election. And that because of the fact that they had agreed to that, he had to be smart enough to join APC where he can get the party nomination with ease. But I'm not saying that, that's why I'm quoting him, I'm not saying that was true or not, but whatever it is, it was a very good and smart move for him to have joined the APC while his godfather. And that was why it was easy for the National Secretary to stand in his defense, because Wike is not a member of APC, while the governor is a member of APC and the leader of the party in the state.
Let's quickly welcome Mr. Bawumi, who is just joining on in the studio. I know you've heard a lot of things about what we're discussing godfatherism, looking at what is happening in Rivers between Nyesom Wike and also his prodigy political son, Governor Simelai Fubara. And one of the things we're looking at is a lot of things that we talk about former Governor Nyesom Wike, about the way he's been intimidating. But we are looking at the possibility of is Governor Simelai Fubara also power intoxicated? His moves, is he also trying to create a godfather in the state himself to, knock out Governor Wike and be the man controlling things in Rivers?
You see, the ultimate aim of seeking political office is to control things. And there is no limit to man's ambition. Some people will say there is no limit to the greed of man. So what we have seen is that when anybody holds power, he wants to hold it for as long as possible, be that as it may. In the case of Rivers, what I see is that Wike feels he installed Fubara And he feels that the Fubara that was the permanent secretary, civil servant, accountant general, that he protected from prosecution. You see, he did not protect Fubara from prosecution because he loved Fubara. He protected Fubara from prosecution because everything, all the mago-mago, to borrow from Wike's language, that was happening in the administration was being carried out by Fubara as a expert, civil servant, accountant, on behalf of Wike. So, and Wike at that time was immune. Fubara was not. If Fubara was arrested, he would have spilled the beans. And immediately Wike step out like Willie Obiano, they will just grab him. And I don't think Wike has the comic strength of Fayose to go and wear a t-shirt, say EFCC, here I am. I don't think Wike has that type of temperament. Fayose understands the exigencies, the ups and downs of power. Wike has never understood the ups and... Well, he has never appreciated, because all he has been going is up, 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 up. Like Alhaji said, chairman, chief of staff, minister, governor, minister. You get it? So that's upward. Meanwhile, there is no graph that does not fluctuate. I pray that when Wike's graph fluctuates, the ground is not too far away.
Let's look at what is happening in the Kano State, because it's not just only in Rivers that we have these godfatherism, political son, political father playing, having back and forth between themselves. Well, for in Kano State, Rabiu Kankaso, the former governor, a former governor of Kano State, and also is the current governor, the incumbent governor, Governor Abba Kabir. There seems to be a disagreement between both of them. We're getting a report that for Governor Abba Kabir, he wants to defect or has defected to the APC, because what the report is saying is everything that has to do with an MPP in the government house has been reportedly removed. Everything there right now is the APC, according to the report. But for what we are getting for report, also former Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso, he wants to defect to the ADC. Well, recently we saw a video from the head of Rabiu Kwankwaso, where Kwankwaso was addressing people of Kano in Hausa language, and he was saying that he knows about the defection of the governor to APC and he has placed that. But immediately we also get a statement from the secretary of the party, an MPP, that says no, that is not true between these political figures. And begs the question of what we've been asking a lot about what is happening under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Because part of what Kwankwaso spoke about, Mau, is the fact that he is aware that some senators, some lawmakers, senators and House of Rep members in Kano are almost being forced to make that switch to the APC. Is that what is happening right now under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because do not forget, about a year ago, oppositions are accusing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of wanting to create a one-party state and using state agencies like the EFCC to ensure that they force people to switch to the APC. Is that what is also playing out in Rivers, in Kano?
Let me tell you, like Rivers, like Kano, one thing in life is power is transient. And in the game of politics, what we normally see is the issue of people undercutting themselves. And the relationship of godfather godson in politics is not something that is permanent for life. Kwankwaso has had the best from his Kwankwasia movement. And from that his Kwankwasia movement, I believe he had been able to actually use it to bargain for a lot of political engagements in Nigeria. But by and large, as much as I believe that Kwankwaso is so close to Mr. President, they are friends, and sometimes it would signify as if he wanted to cross to APC. Some other times it would signify as if he didn't want APC, and even from some of his statements, it seems that Kwankwaso himself is interested in the position he will occupy if he has to come to cross over to another.
So it's all about interest.
For instance, at a point, it almost caused crisis within APC when it's been rumored that Kwankwaso will be used to replace Shetima. But the issue of management of crisis in the APC doused this down. But so far so good. If he's playing front and back on the issue of defection, the governor felt his godson, Governor by Kabir Yusuf, felt that his own political influence and ambition can better be actually protected under APC than going to ADC. You get the point there. So there's bound to be some changes there. The godfather cannot be godfather forever. The godson has to stand on his own feet too at a point. So I think this is exactly what is happening in the case of Kanu. And that was why Kwankwaso, as a last minute, now enjoy all his followers who wanted to defect to APC to defect. Because the commissioners, even including Kwankwaso's son, left the cabinet.
They just left the office. They haven't resigned yet officially, but they have packed out of office. I mean, it is a report from Kano already.
It is step by step. At least they've taken the first step. They've left the office. Let's see what they will do again.
They have vacated physically.
So definitely it means things are not well within the NNPP in Kano. And NNPP's base only is in Kano.
Now, that's why I asked the question. Let me bring in Mr. Biodi on this. I asked how did really touch it, but he lead us to the path. To my question that I also asked him is the fact that let's look at under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Don't forget I said he has been accused of intimidating opposition. And this has happened, I think, since 6 months after his administration, since we get into the year 2024. Now, PDP, as it seems right now, seems dead and buried. The way we are going into this administration. Now, the next conversation we are having is with the NNPP. We are almost looking at the NNPP also going into non-existence. Feels like the accusation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his administration seems to be true. Because when you look at events happening behind it, is this not a matter of intimidation by the ruling party?
You cannot be in a position of President Tinubu and you don't intimidate your opponents. Because it's a matter of playing games. You are at the top, you want to remain at the top. Those that want to grab that power, you have to make sure that you render them.
But some will say if others have done this, he would not have built APC.
Wait. Sorry, I have to come in here. They did not dash Tinubu the presidency. He fought for it tooth and nail. Keeping quiet for a period of 16 years, building up a strategy and working it tactically.
Some will also say, if we claim that
you are saying as if to say Tinubu is committing a crime by being a successful politician. Anywhere in the world, the objective of politics is to capture power. Donald Trump, what is he doing? I'm not saying he's my example, but that is the reality. And look at all the very objective is to capture power.
So killing the opposition just to ensure that APC stands.
No, he's not killing. Look at what is... Look, you are talking as if to say it is out of context. First, I do not believe this has anything to do with Tinubu. This is simple, practical reality. There is a party called NNPP. Kwankwaso was not a member of that party. He was in a political sojourn from the PDP to the APC. And then subsequently, he ended up getting a ticket on NNPP. He was never a member of NNPP. He simply brought himself in as the leader of Kwankwaso.
And became a member.
So
he is a member.
Hold on. No, he is not. As we speak now, he's already expelled. And I'm sure
before the expulsion, that's what I'm saying.
He had been expelled a long time
going
ago.
into the 2023 election, he was a member of the NNPP.
Yes.
I want us to get this fact clear. Going into 2023 election, he was a member of the NNPP. We have the APC. We have the PDP. Right, Mr. Biodun? We have the PDP. Now, 2023 election, May 29, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in. 2024, we started getting reports about intimidation to ensure that to create a one-party state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Most political
parties do we have registered in Nigeria as of today?
There are lots of political parties. There are lots, but we know that we only have few that can compete.
You cannot blame
but is that his business?
You cannot blame the president for them not competing.
Wait, is it Tinubu that told Kwankwaso to misbehave to the leaders of NNPP? That the Board of Trustees and the National Executive Committee of the party met in a joint meeting to expel him? And Abba, as a realist who wants a second term in office, needs a platform. Just like Ademola Adeleke needs a platform. So it is not Tinubu that told the people, the PDP people, to choose their presidential candidate and national party chairman from one region of the country. You see, while in any case, in all that, I still insist, anywhere in the world, democracy is a contest. So I do not... Tinubu, well, those call themselves the APC. Remember, they faced Jonathan squarely. It's not as if to say somebody gave them. So it behoves on anybody who is unhappy with Tinubu to also work out his own strategy. Remember, I am a retired officer. How much? On level 16, I retired with how much? Less than 200,000 as salary. Maybe 100,000 as pension. So it's not as if to say I'm enjoying Tinubu's government. I am living in Osin. For the last 2 months, at best, we will have power for 3 hours, electric power. There is no public water supply in my area. I am a Kaduna-born boy, even though my mother and father are from Ofa. I can no longer travel to Kaduna because of insecurity at Bendongwari, Kagara, Pandogari, all these places. But I think we should locate our argument in the appropriate latitude and longitude, rather than Tinubu trying to intimidate opposition. Tinubu, when he was opposition, did they not try to intimidate him?
Alhaji, let me bring you in. Let's get your opinion on this. I know Mr. Biodun and also Mr. Bami has made it clear that you cannot blame the presidency on this. But some of those arguments that have argued against their own opinion will also say, why is it that in most cases EFCC is chasing those that want to go into the opposition, or those in the opposition, or those fighting the presidency or the APC government?
Thank you very much, the anchorman. Kano State is a special state, so to say, in the north. And it is not now that is enjoying that status. It has been there for years. The issue, I'll make some clarifications, and also, number one, there are 2 factions in NNPP. So it was a faction that claimed to have expelled Dr. Rabiu Musa Konkoso. That's number one. Then number 2, the issue of godfatherism in Kano State. It is surprising. Usually, political leaders, people who have the financial power, the financial strength, and that political relevance to support candidates who they, in their own reckoning, assume will be amenable and controllable, and support them to become governor, become local
to hold any political position,
or whatever. In Kano State, this one is surprising because Abba Yusuf has been with Konkoso for more than 33 years. He was his personal assistant when he was governor between 1999 and 2003. When he became a minister for defense, he was his PA. When he became governor again, he became his principal private secretary before serving as his commissioner, a member of the cabinet. But now, it's even his in-law. Again, his in-law. And now they can't find a way of, ensuring that the relationship does not get strained. But now that the relationship there are signs that the relationship is about to get strained or it has gotten strained. The fact is this. I got to know from my sources that Alhaji Konkoso is not really disposed to the idea of having of the governor having a second term. That he may want the deputy to succeed him. He just spend one term and leave, then the deputy, and the governor will definitely want to seek a second term. And joining APC, once you join APC, your sins are forgiven. Then you get party nomination with ease. Then addressing the issue of democratic decline under President Bola Tinubu, that's where I would disagree with Mr. Adeyemi and Chairman Mao. You see, it is clear. The evidence is there. We have it in abundance. We have evidence in abundance that democratic decline under President Bola Tinubu. You see, yes, as a politician, your main priority is to ensure that you become relevant forever as long as you're alive, politically. And whatever strategy you may have chosen to employ or you may decide to employ, yeah, it's okay. But one thing, institutions should not be used
as a tool,
as instrument of oppression. And in this case, there are so many instances that you may not want to say it, but you know that I know